Bien, señores, vamos a ver aquí una entrevista y prácticamente está dando consejos por qué un hombre no debe casarse. Y está un grupo de señoritas que obviamente están en desacuerdo en todo lo que es, sí, relaciones y matrimonio. Vamos a ver, bt.com.
All right, Goldie, you're hearing all this. I'm sure you know the ladies that we talked about. You heard the ladies respond. What's your advice to men these days? You see these women advocating for divorce. You coach a lot of men. You know, you said, I'm married to the game, right? So what's your advice for the average dude out there that's looking to have a pretty woman in his life? Should he get married? Should he never get married? How do you raise kids? What's your best approach?
Well, one, I say to that lady who was talking, misery loves company. So, you know, nobody wants to be single and divorced by themselves. Exactly. And as far as dudes, you should never get married. There's no benefit to a man to get married. If you can tell me one, you can tell me one. If one of these ladies wants to give me a benefit for the man, but there's no benefit for a man to get married. You understand? It benefits the woman more, so there's really no point. You know, marriage is what a made-up idea, you know, so I don't need the government and a piece of paper to make you not leave me. You know, you could leave me, you could cheat on me regardless of this paper, so why do we need it? So if you leave, you could take half of what I have. So it's really just not a smart business decision.
So where do you factor in prenups, paperwork, arrangements, right? Because you're 24 years old, right? You got married, you're how old?
23.
23. You got engaged, almost married when you were 19.
They're useless.
You don't have any money. You ain't got shit going on.
Yeah.
You think, oh, what are you gonna take half of my fucking snack pack over here? Like, I don't have anything. So this is what I say for most men, like at this point in my life, if I ever get married, because I was engaged for a long time, had a prenup, thank God. If I ever get married again, believe me, I got too much to lose at this point. But when that's why I tell people, guys should wait their time and women should prioritize their time.
Por eso los hombres están un poco confusos y a la vez como que les da miedo, la verdad. ¿Por qué? Porque, bueno, esto para los hombres que tienen planes a futuro, que realmente quieren hacer algo con su vida, que no solamente la pasan ahí hablando de que, oh, sí, yo, mi valor y eso y no hace nada. Los hombres que realmente tienen un plan, que tienen algo, es un poco tenebroso entrar al mundo de las relaciones y al mundo del matrimonio y del game y de todo eso de conquistar o seducir chicas o lo que sea, de casarse en general, de conocer a una mujer, porque en realidad pues no trae nada, güey, o sea, no trae nada, pues ¿qué le pueden ofrecer a la morra? Entonces se quedan con la idea de que no, pues ¿para qué? Si al final de cuentas me lo va a quitar todo. Sí, güey, pero pues es que ni siquiera te das la oportunidad de realmente entrar al mundo y realmente conocer. No puedes decirlo solamente porque sí. O sea, esto déjaselo a los hombres que realmente quieren casarse y que realmente tienen con qué solventar una relación, una familia. A esos hombres que entregan todo, a esos hombres sí los pueden dejar en la calle. ¿Por qué? Porque ya construyeron sus cosas, ¿okay? Y se casan y lo hacen una pendejada a las morras y después los dejan. Pero eso no aplica para todos, señores. O sea, déjense de mamadas también. O sea, no aplica para todos. Solamente aplica para los hombres que realmente están haciendo el trabajo.
Maximize their time. But for young men out there, do you just say, don't ever get married? Even older men? Like, is it across the board? Is it a blanket statement?
If you have nothing to get taken from you, then yeah, go ahead, get married. But if you have something worth losing, no, don't get married.
Do you advocate also not living with women then?
Not what?
Not living with women.
No, I don't not advocate that. You could live with a woman.
So can you live with a woman for like 3 years but just not marry her?
You could live with a woman for 20
But then
years.
she's entitled to everything that she would be in a marriage.
In what state?
Most states.
Not all states.
What
Almost
about
all
kids,
of them.
like legally after 7 years?
Yeah, I don't think that's every state though.
Well, he's saying to keep it pure, like as long as you don't have a contract saying that if one of us screws this up, we get something out of it, or I can tank you, then you know at least your love is genuine because I can leave whenever I want, right?
Yeah,
It's
see,
almost
there
like
you
a
go.
business.
But you
fund
can get a
for
contract to avoid that. It's called a prenup.
But if
you
you
get a
live
contract
together,
to set it up
That
so that
even
even if
pulls
you're
down
married
too.
with somebody
So then what would
and
be
then
the
you
point?
leave, the contract says you leave with what you came with.
So what was the benefit of us getting married?
Well, it was a benefit in the sense that you're making a commitment to this person and you decide to go to the extreme of signing documents and putting money into it and having this whole experience and having a family and building and so on and so forth, that you can protect yourself by making that. It's just like any type of investment you make. You get insurance.
Well, let me
No. Estas mujeres, obviamente, ellas están hablando de su propio beneficio, ¿ok? Y están culpándolos, obviamente, shaming tactics todo el tiempo. Están culpando a los hombres. Oh, sí, tú vas a tener un beneficio. ¿Cuál beneficio, güey? No hay ningún beneficio. Y te lo digo realmente yo por experiencia, güey. O sea, a mí afortunadamente no me he quitado nada porque pues, no tenía nada. Pero pues como que ya te chingan, güey. O sea, te chingan en muchos aspectos. No solamente en lo financiero, en lo emocional. También eso cuenta. No hay un beneficio en general. Un beneficio en general para los hombres.
Let me ask you guys this last question. So I hear you. Like, men, especially since a lot of podcasts like this have popped up, these conversations happen, and I'm friends with a lot of the guys that do this, they say, listen, why? It makes no sense for a guy, especially a successful guy, right?
Exactly.
You know, I have a lot of buddies that are married, successful guys. Now they've been married 10 years. They got married in their early 30s. They're in their early 40s now. We're starting to see some divorces start to occur. It's not so much the great divorce, but it's starting to occur, right? Got it. But you know, they say it takes two to tango, that whole deal. I totally understand where you're coming from, especially if you have too much to lose. But I want to understand from the ladies, you're dating a guy. It's been 2 years, 3 years, whatever. You're 26, 24, 28, 32, whatever. It's time to get married, right? You said you're 29, 27. All right. You're dating a guy. You don't have the marriage conversation the first day. We get it. You're dating. And you want to have that conversation. He goes, look, baby, I love you. All right? I want to be with you. I want to spend my time with you. I want to have kids with you. I want to have a family with you. I just can't do the government marriage thing. I'll marry you in a courthouse. I'm not in a courthouse. I'll marry you in a church, in a temple, in a mosque. We'll go to the beach. We'll go away. We'll do a destination. I can't. I have too much to lose. You know, I would love to be with you forever. I can't do it. I want to be with you. I just can't actually do the paperwork. What would you say?
I'm fine with that. If we have the whole lifestyle, like living together with kids and a party to celebrate our love, and it's pure like that, I'm totally fine with that. I'm not dependent on a man really for like anything financial. I can take care of myself. So if we're like naturally and organically coming together, I'm completely fine with that.
Ahí va esa actitud igual de independiente. O sea, a un hombre no le sirve una mujer así. De que, sí, está bien, está de acuerdo, pero no dependo de ningún hombre. Yo me puedo cuidar a mí misma, etc. Entonces, ese tipo de comportamiento, de actitud, eso es precisamente lo que están evitando los hombres. Por eso no se quieren casar. Porque puede haber papel o no puede haber papel. Vale madres, como quiera, esa actitud no va a cambiar nunca.
But that's easy to say when you don't have kids, sweetheart. Of course, when you pop out 2, 3 kids, you're not going to be like, listen, I don't need a man, I can take care of myself. No. You're literally going to be taking care of the kids.
Well, we'll have, I would assume another like kind of agreement that we're 50-50 responsible for the children.
Okay, so there is an agreement now.
Yeah, but we're not talking about a marriage contract, right?
Okay.
Right, so I'm okay
I'm
with
asking
the
you guys what would work in that.
Absolutely not.
What are you going to say?
I don't know. If you've been common law for 3 years, you're basically entitled to anything that a married woman is. So if a guy was
Is that actually fact, though?
Yes.
Common law,
Yes.
you're entitled to anything?
Careful now.
basically, yeah, everything. It's
For like 3 weeks,
You're
relax.
entitled to alimony as well. You're also entitled to child.
On what state?
Most states. I think you'd have to find me a state
Okay,
that doesn't have that.
Malik, we're going to Google that real quick. So common law marriage kicks in if you're living together for 3 years?
I thought it was 7.
It depends on the
I've
state.
heard 7.
Yeah,
So some states
I've
are
heard
two.
7.
depend on the state.
Wait, then I need to go back in time if
Yeah.
that's the case. Because
Some states are 2, some are 3,
Okay.
some are
3
5,
years.
and some are like it's all. But
So
basically, what I
common
say to him
law.
is, I'd say
We got to look into this,
Yeah.
Goldie.
Fact check
I'd
that.
tell
Thought you
him
knew
to look
about
at the law.
this. Kate, you're with some dude. You're together a couple years. I love you, baby. Let's do this as a family. You just can't get married to the government. What would you say?
I would say, like, no, I'd leave because I think that,
You said you would leave?
yeah, because to me it's I think that when you go into a marriage and you're agreeing to make that commitment to each other, like, there's a matter of, like, trust that you have within the relationship and the bond that, like, you're creating. And if you're going to go into that and you have to have, like, a backup plan for yourself or, like, a safety net, then you're already expecting it to fail. You're not completely invested in the marriage or the relationship in general. Like, you're already anticipating that it's not going to work out. So why would I go into it with you if you're not planning that it's gonna work out and you're not trusting that we're gonna work it out and be together.
Let me ask you something. You bring up a good point. You drive a car?
I do.
What kind of car?
It's a Honda.
That a girl? What kind of car insurance you got?
It like all the insurance on the, I don't know, it's
You got
Allstate.
car insurance?
I do.
Okay. You're a pretty healthy girl, right?
I think so.
Okay, what kind of health insurance you got?
It's my mom's.
Okay, but you have health insurance.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So even though you're healthy, you have health insurance.
Okay.
Even though you have a car, you've never in a car accident, you have car insurance.
Yes.
What if I were to tell you that the prenup is just divorce insurance?
No, I get the concept behind it 100%. Like I understand like the logic of like you need to protect yourself and everything, but I just don't think in my particular situation I would feel comfortable then going into that, like having kids, raising a whole family and doing all of these things with someone if I felt like in the back of their mind there was still a piece where they like felt like they had to like have an escape route.
What happens
like
if there was an agreement? Like, look, you're gonna get a push present for every kid for every year that we stay divorced. I'm sorry,
like a Birkin
stay
per
divorced.
kid?
For every year that we're married, you're gonna get X amount. I'm not gonna leave you high and
But
dry.
then what's
like,
the difference between
I just don't want a court or the government telling us what we need to do. I want us to tell us what we need to do. And here's the paperwork, and we're gonna figure this out. And if somebody cheats, we'll figure it out. But I don't need the magistrate up in Dade County telling me what to do. Is that something you'd be open to?
It'd be a conversation, but initially I'm like grabbing the keys, packing the bags, like, all right, have a great life. But, you know, it takes some convincing.
Angela, a man, he loves you very much. He says, listen, I don't want to marry you, but I'll marry you. What do you say this?
Listen, for me, I date to marry. And prenup is another thing. Like, I've dated millionaires in the past, and I was always upfront with the idea of I don't care about prenup, because if I don't have as much as the guy I'm dating and he's already built his empire alone and he has all that money and he wants a prenup, that's perfectly fine, because I don't want to take anything away from a man who got to that point in his life before even meeting me, right? So prenup is one thing. Like, I can get married with a prenup and that's fine. But if someone is with me and plays those games that, oh, I don't want to get married, I'm out, because I'm not going to have someone's children in the future without being married. That's
Gotcha.
it.
So we have yes to a marriage, yes to a need to get married. You said you
Get a prenup, of course.
you're doing the prenup.
Of course, get a prenup.
I'm fine with the
You didn't
prenup
need
as
it.
well. Yeah.
What did you say?
As long as I get an engagement ring, a wedding ring, and a destination location wedding, we call each other husband and wife, then I'm fine. We don't need actually to get married with the courthouse.
As long as I get this,
I want
and
a
this,
big-
I don't
I
need
want-
A los estándares. Y lo que yo quiero, lo que yo quiero, lo que yo necesito, lo que yo necesito. Siempre la misma mierda.
A big ring.
So
Yeah.
we'll have to be trophy wife.
How about you, Lydia?
Yeah, so my end goal for marriage is to have children, so I'm not getting into a marriage unless we're signing contracts and going to be legally married on paper. Because again, I want to have children, I need that security, so when I do get pregnant, I can't work for months on end, and even afterwards, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm secure in my marriage, we're good, he's working, I can take care of the children.
So you're saying, so what did you say you would agree to or not agree
So
to?
no, like we have to be married on paper.
Okay, but I guess the question here is who's not willing to sign a prenup?
Oh no, I'll sign a prenup.
You'll sign the
but
prenup.
it protects both parties.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because
Got
we want
it.
to know what's real on both sides. That's
Yeah.
why the
Got it.
prenup's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to
Fair
protect
enough.
both parties.
Final thoughts.
I agree with everything that Angela said. I think that I'm dating to marry, and that's what my intentions are. And I'm completely fine with signing a prenup because it just wouldn't really be
So
valid.
just
to
show of
expect.
hands real quick, just so I can see who full on needs to get married. You know, court involved. I need to see, like, it needs to be legit for sure.
But let's
Put
be
your
honest.
hands down. Who's willing to say we're married, we're together, but it's not like at a full-on courthouse. The government is not involved.
Because then
Okay.
you're just like waiting for it
Blondes
to
have
fail.
more fun. There it is.
I don't trust the government, so.
There it
you
is.
on that.
Find someone that doesn't trust the government as well. So if you
Es el problema, no confían realmente. Y ahí viene un detalle, si no confían en su hombre, en palabra, pues ¿qué te espera, güey? O sea, ¿qué te espera de esa mujer? Si el único que quieres es que confíen en ti. Porque si no confían en ti, no te van a valorar, no te van a respetar. De ahí se deriva todo